guys, welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. And right now we are joined by someone very, very, very special. He has made international headlines and is all the rage in the Indian music scene. So much so that he's even made Obama's favorite music list. Welcome to the show, Prateek Kuhad.
Hi, hello, how's it going? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. You are known as the love guru, not because of the advice you give out, but because of the beautiful romantic lyrics that you write. How did you get into music, writing music?
Um, I started playing the guitar around when I was 16 or 17, and then it just kind of naturally progressed into making music. I was mostly, I started with covering a lot of songs, like just learning other people's songs, and then just very naturally, I just one day wrote a song, and then I wrote another one, and then it kind of kept going from there.
Okay, so I have to ask, have you ever used any of your lyrics to serenade a date or used as a pickup line?
No, no, that's too corny for me. I don't do corny stuff like
Okay, because let me tell you, we sure have.
that.
And okay, so your tour is named The Way That Lovers Do. So how are you as a partner?
I don't know. I guess you'll have to ask somebody who's been with me, right? I mean, I've definitely like. I think I'm sure like they'd have a much better idea of that. But I think I'm pretty. I mean, from my perspective, at least, I think I'm fairly simple in terms of what I
Like,
expect in a relationship. Yeah,
yeah, just very chill, mellow.
yeah, pretty much.
Say you're the ideal boyfriend.
Huh?
Would you say you're the ideal boyfriend?
I don't know. Again, I'm saying I don't want to speak for
Oh, like
myself.
from your perspective, like
No, I mean, I think we can always like you know. There's no such thing actually, it's just it also just depends on the other way. I think it's more about like dynamics versus how a person is. So I don't know.
okay, so your concert that is taking place at the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Stadium Saturday, it took place on January 14th. Now, what surprises were your audience is given, and what all fun stuff happened in the show?
uh just the first time playing at like this sort of a venue, where a stadium, I mean, it's just the energy is very different when there's uh people kind of all around you and kind of up close also. So it's kind of like an indoor venue but not really. uh, and I mean, especially with my shows, a lot of people sing through everything, so that's always a lot more impactful in this sort of setup.
So I'm sure you get this question a lot, but what was your first reaction to finding out that you've made Obama's top favorite music list?
No, just I was pretty shocked, not gonna lie. I mean, pretty surprised and pretty shocked. That's pretty much about it. And then it kind of sinks in, and then it's like, okay, that's cool. But initially it was definitely like very very surprised.
Now, if Dubai was like a genre of music, what do you have a feeling of what kind of genre it would be?
What kind of are you talking? What are you talking about? Sorry, I
Dubai,
missed that.
Dubai, the city was like a genre of music. What?
Whew. Um, I don't know. That's a really tough one, actually. I want to say like I want to say like almost like industrial. Like industrial is actually a genre, like industrial metal. But that's not really the vibe of the city. Maybe that's just because it's so, you know, uh,
Skyscrapers, like a
yeah, exactly. It's all the buildings and the metal, and it's such a feat in that sense, of like just what humans can do in terms of like recreating like a city that's so you know uh, so built and like perfect almost in that sense. So yeah, how to pick a genre? I feel like it can be like a bunch of different genres depending on what you're feeling that day.
so what kind of what is the mix of genres you're thinking of?
Yeah, definitely like pop. you
Mm,
know,
100%. Yeah.
maybe a little bit of like rock as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I see it. I see it. You're on the right track. Good. Um, and would you ever shoot a music video here in Dubai, or do you have anything in the books coming up here?
Nothing planned as of now. I mean, honestly, when it comes to music videos and stuff like that, it's not really like the you know the conceptualization process is always like, find like an idea that really communicates the song well. It's all about the song. The video is all about the song, and then you kind of like get into the parts. But okay, what's the best place to shoot it at and stuff? So it just happens by chance. Like I never go about it in a way that like, oh, I really like that location, or this city is really cool. Let's shoot a music video there. Go from more like concept based approach, which is like start at kind of like the fundamentals and then go up from there. You know.
So your music video Kasoor made a lot of people so emotional, just like the raw emotions that you shot for that video. How did you conceptualize that? Was during COVID, and was it something like, okay, you want to shoot a video through Zoom? Like, how did that come about?
So actually, weirdly, it was never supposed to be actually a COVID concept because the concept was written in 2019, and we didn't know about COVID back then. So it was just like I sent the song to Jugaad Motion Pictures, like Dar and Dheer, basically they're really good friends of mine also because they also made the Cold Menace video, and since then I've just had like a really good kind of like working and personal relationship with them. And so I sent them the song, and like they came up with a bunch of concepts, and then like one of the concepts was the concept of Kasoor, what the video is, which was just like presenting all these questions and getting a lot of people to react to those questions, and then kind of like building a kind of feeling. I don't want to say narrative because it doesn't have much of a narrative, but just kind of like a kind of like uh, this kind of journey of emotions going through. And initially we were going to do it in a in a much higher production value, right? Like just actually get a bunch of people, shoot them properly with like camera studios, and then have like my parts in the video were supposed to be a lot more elaborate. There was another added concept about like this wall being built at the back and stuff. So it was going to be a lot more elaborate. And then 2019, that's what we decided. And then we had some delays because of a bunch of different things, and it was going to be shot in 2019 and then didn't end up. Like I pushed up the release of Kasoor itself, and then the pandemic just hit, and then like I did still want to put out the song, and then we were talking and we were like, okay, you know what, this is something that can actually be done even right now. You can just have people shoot it on phones. I can shoot my parts at home, keep it casual, keep it chill, like it's fine because now we're in this pandemic. I don't know when we're getting out. At that time, you didn't know, like it's like we might as well just do it this way. So that's kind of how it happened. So it was actually like, a lot of people think it's like this concept that was built in the pandemic, but it actually had nothing to do with it. It just happened to kind of like work with it. So it's pretty interesting. Yeah, it kind of worked out though, because I think a lot of people really related to that also, about being at home and like uh, being able to, like, it's almost like an interactive video. You can actually, like, when you're watching it, you're actually going through those emotions and your memories and feeling all that stuff. And I the first time I saw the idea, I actually knew it was going to be good. Like literally when I read it, I was like, this, we have to make this.
Yeah, it was so raw, so beautiful. So thank you for gifting the world with that. And how what inspires your music? Like, you see movies like Rockstar where you feel like creatives need to go through heartbreak and certain trauma that inspires their music. So is it the same for you? Like you take it from real life scenarios or no?
I mean, yes and no, because of course, like, I think for any artist, a lot of like the stuff that they go through personally does come out in the music, and ultimately that's what makes things unique, right? Because every person's journey is very unique, you know. So when you're really talking about yourself in the truest way possible, you're actually telling a truly unique story, usually more often than not, and that's really all you need to do, because everybody's distinct, everybody has different lives. But that being said, like, I don't think, like, it's a weird thing, like you don't want to become one of those people who is trying to put themselves in, uh, situations that make them have a heartbreak, or trying to kind of chase, you know, complicated situations just because you think that like that will lead to better art, because it's not as simple as that. Like, yeah, definitely, like, experiences that are challenging, or not even challenging, just like, overwhelming sometimes, do kind of like stir up your emotions in a way that, like, you have something to say that's a bit more, uh, it's just like a bit more true and a bit more fresh sometimes. But that being said, like, I think to chase it's not going to work out. And then the other factor is also just the fact that, like, you have to be a good artist, kind of like technically, in some sense. Like, if you're not really good at what you're doing, as a writer or as a singer or as a performer or as a musician, whatever, your kind of core skill is, then you're not going to be able to communicate those experiences effectively into like the format of a song, or whatever kind of art you create. So it's a thin line to kind of like tread. And you have to be careful, because I mean, if you start chasing complicated situations a lot, your life's just going to be like really complicated, and it's not going to be fun. So that
So
makes sense.
yeah, it makes a lot of sense. We'll wrap up the interview soon. But speaking of complicated, what do you think makes love so complicated? And should love be like true love be that complicated?
I don't know, please tell me the answer to that question when you find it. I still haven't figured it out. That's like the golden question.
The golden question.
Why is love so complicated? I don't know. I think all of us ask ourselves that every single day.
No answers for it yet.
No answers yet. Sorry. I'm still working hard on that answer.
Let us know when you crack it. But any upcoming projects that you could share with us?
Uh, yeah, actually, I mean, I don't want to like give out too many details, but we have like a new song coming out hopefully soon. It's kind of like part of like the way that lovers do. There was a couple of songs that we recorded in the studio that we did not put out. So I'm doing like a deluxe version of the album, and we're working on that dead material, couple of songs, couple of other fun stuff. So I don't want to like give dates and stuff yet, because it's not fully concrete, but that's definitely in the works soon. It's pretty soon.
Soon. Okay, like for Q1,
It's pretty soon. It's really soon. Just know that. Okay.
the coming month.
You'll have it before you know.
Okay, and lastly, why are you loving Dubai? And are you loving Dubai?
Yeah, I am. I mean, it's just especially just right now. I just got here to the venue. I'm actually at the venue right now, and it's just beautiful. Like the stadium and stuff. It's really cool. So I'm super excited.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show, Prateek, and we wish you all the very, very best for everything that you have coming up. And hopefully, you can give us the answer to what true love feels like very soon.